Okay, here we go. Devashish, Shomik, and Gargi were all of them were at the Eden Gardens yesterday, and they witnessed an absolute miracle. Question to all: can KKR now continue and do the same against CSK and the last two games, which includes, I think, one against RCB on the 17th of May? So a difficult match there, and get to 17 points and make the playoffs. Delhi game and this one yesterday, two back-to-back wins, and the rain curtailed 1 point on that Punjab match when weather god saved KKR. Is it possible, Devashish Sen? Is it possible, Shomik Chakraborty? Is it possible, Gargi Raut? Can KKR pull this off? Shomik, you start.
See, if you look at the remaining matches as far as KKR are concerned, all of them are very much winnable. Given that Chennai Super Kings, they no longer look interested as far as this IPL is concerned. Their IPL is done and dusted. So they are sort of going through the motions. Then Sunrisers Hyderabad, the side that blows hot and cold, and on their home patch this time around, they didn't quite fire. So and then they go to uh, Chinnaswamy for the game against Royal Challengers Bangalore, and KKR's record at Chinnaswamy has been fantastic. I think KKR haven't lost a game at Chinnaswamy since 2014. I have to check. I have to double check. But this time it's a different version of RCB. But yesterday, the way, and see, as far as yesterday's match was concerned, for me there are two men of the matches basically. One is Rinku Singh. Without Rinku Singh, KKR wouldn't have won this game. Those saved boundaries eventually it mattered, and we'll come to this later. Sujan Mukherjee, fantastic wicket, fantastic pitch. And I have spoken to Sujanda this morning also. I'll come up with the story. Fantastic pitch. This is what spectators want in a T20 game. KKR's remaining matches are winnable, but even if they win all their remaining matches, it would be difficult for them to make the playoffs the way the current table stands.
Devashish, you have been a KKR supporter. In fact, Shomik has been quite pessimistic in some of our shows. You have said that heart still says KKR. You've been a KKR supporter in that sense. Do you now sort of believe that KKR can pull it off? You still don't? Where do you stand on
I
this?
don't think so. I don't think so because if you look at the points table, at least three teams will end up 18 or more than 18 points. Means clearly, Rajasthan Royal Challengers, Bangalore, Mumbai Indians, and Punjab Kings will end up at least 17 points or more. So obviously, and then you have Gujarat Titans, Delhi Capitals, Lucknow Super Giants all in the fray. So even if KKR goes on to win their remaining three matches, they have to wait for the results of other matches. So I think I still feel that KKR might not make it to the playoffs. Means in the scenario we are in right now, even if they go on to win the remaining three matches, and they are themselves to be blamed because they had opportunities in this tournament, but they have messed it up. So even if they go on to win, and I just want to add one thing about the Eden Gardens wicket. I did mention it in our group in the Bangla group. Yes, it was Sujanda. Had he not watered the wicket after the Kolkata Knight Riders team left the day before the match yesterday on Saturday, I'm talking about, and that actually it paved the way for a good sporting wicket. Means there were runs on offer, spinners got help, fast bowlers got some purchase. Say the wicket had everything for everyone. So all credit to Sunanda, but we have to also give credit to one other guy, that is ex BCCI president Saurav Ganguly, because after Sujanda had a discussion with Saurav, he decided to water the wicket. Means and it could have been a boomerang for KKR. Means had the wicket been dry and had it taken some more time, then things could have gone very for KKR. So yes, but I one would hope that KKR gets such kind of wicket, because this is a perfectly tailor-made wicket for Kolkata Knight Riders.
I think it's going to get increasingly difficult for KKR to make it to the playoffs. As Devashish also rightly pointed out, that there are three other teams in the running who are ahead of KKR at this point. And whenever it comes to a situation where you have to win 5 matches on a trot, I think the law of average also comes into play. Uh, it's not just skills at this point; it's spirit as well that will also come into play. But I don't think KKR is going to make it to the playoffs from here on. And I've always believed it. When you leave things up to permutations and combinations, then you've given up about 60% of your chances of making it to the top of the table. And I don't think that's happening with KKR. Yes, they have put in brilliant effort at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. They were lucky enough to get a very very good wicket there because the previous match that was played at that stadium was a very difficult wicket. But the one that KKR got, that was a good one. Yesterday as well, the way that KKR performed, I think they are showing solid execution. They are showing unity as a when it comes to the batting unit, the spinners coming into play. They look like a very well-rounded side now, but at the same time, I don't think it's happening. It's difficult to win 3 matches on a trot, especially. I think now that we think of a Gujarat Titans, we think of an RCB. It's going to be very difficult for our KKR to keep this momentum going.
Okay. So the panel is kind of unanimous that yes, a couple of good results, but it's tough. Shomik says the same, Devashish says the same, Gargi is also alluding to the same. Couple of questions here which are interesting. There's one comment which compares KKR to Vodafone shares. I don't know what that is, but I'm not a share market person. But where is it? The Vodafone shares. This is a good comment. Rohan is.
It's done
Yeah,
there.
you found that.
Yes.
Rohan is our market man. So I'll go give it to Rohan. Rohan, Boryada, it requires a lot of guts to be a diehard KKR fan, more volatile than Vodafone shares. Your take on Rahane being helpless against spinners. Rohan, you want to take that?
Well, that's the beauty of being a fan, right? East Bengal fans have been waiting for 12 years for a trophy. So KKR at least have three IPL trophies. They are the defending champions. Yes, they have missed quite a few chances in making the playoffs. Also, now even if they win all three, there is a equation of permutation combination. But it would be good to see that them winning the remaining 3 matches. They have CSK at home. CSK not in a very good form. They're already out of the equation. Yes, they don't have CSK don't have anything to lose. That makes them a bit difficult. But as we were discussing yesterday, also that Eden Gardens has not been a very good hunting ground for KKR this season. But yesterday's win might be a omen that the things can change in CSK match also. And the race two matches, SRH and RCB. Of course, difficult, but it would be good to see KKR finishing on a high, even if they don't make it to the playoffs. But a good lesson for the entire team, because as we were discussing yesterday, also in the office, Andrew Russell coming up the order and playing that knock. He was 8 in 8 balls, and then after that he accelerated and got that brilliant knock, 50 plus knock. So there are a lot of lessons also for KKR from this season that might help them going forward. But it would be good to see them winning the remaining 3 matches and ending on a high.
Shumik's SRH not the best campaign. CSK not the best campaign. These are two matches eminently winnable. And then you have great record in Chedaswamy. Whether or not they can qualify in the fourth spot, chalo baad mein sochte hain. But at least if you see the next three, you are not playing GT, which is looking one of the better teams. Punjab, not one of the better teams. Mumbai, Resurgent Mumbai is an absolute dangerous beast. You are playing teams who are beatable. Definitely beatable CSK, definitely beatable SRH. Shumik, is that something that KKR will take heart from?
Absolutely, and it is imperative for KKR to finish the season strongly, and that positivity. See, it is not about they are not going to win every year. They have to accept that, and they bungle their campaign in the first half of the season. But if they finish the season strongly, they will take a lot of heart from there and will carry forward that positivity to the next season. A few changes here and there, everything, but in hindsight, they might also rue the fact that what could have been in the case. not getting past that 100, and that was the killer in Punjab. 111, they couldn't chase down 111. That was the killer, and that was a big psychological blow to the team also in terms of losing confidence, which trickled down to their home loss against Gujarat Titans. Also, one more fact that maybe in hindsight they will also regret uh, being so very insistent about the Eden Garden pitch, which started from day one, from match one. So, if they were concentrating a little more on cricket rather than being too much perturbed about the pitch, maybe their campaign would have been a little better. But yes, KKR, I expect them to win their remaining. It is not very easy in T20 cricket, winning 5 matches on the spin. It is not very easy, and especially Pinnaswamy, although they have a great record, but this is a different Royal Challengers Bangalore team. Uh, so from that point of view, but all 3 games are winnable. They will. I expect them to finish this season strongly, and then they will see what happens next year. Because I'm still not giving them chances to qualify for the playoff.
Devashish, while we are seeing a lot of celebration, Andre Russell back in form, and all this, and one important factor is fielding. If you see the way Rinku Singh saved those 2 runs, that chap is not being given the credit that he deserves. That, the way he was running in, sprinting, diving, saving those runs. However much you credit Andre Russell and the rest of the boys, that 2 runs, 1 run was the eventual differentiation. That is what makes a champion team in real sense. If you take a look at Lucknow Super Giants, you take a look at Avesh Khan, and you realize that there is a problem here. Every single game, that guy will concede boundaries and drop catches. He's knocking on the doors of India. And you then realize, how is it that I can bank on Avesh Khan because he can't even hold basic catches? Then you take a look at Rinku Singh, who will give it his all, his life to save that ball and save those runs. I think credit where due, the role of Rinku Singh in the field, Devashish Singh.
I think there was definitely a certain bit of desperation from KKR last night. It started with Ajinkya Rahane taking that blinder of a catch, means to send back Vaibhav Suryavanshi. It started with Ajinkya Rahane's effort on the field, and it showed tremendous commitment from the KKR captain. And remember, he got a street webbing, he had stitches, and despite that, throwing himself a full stretch and running and catching it. That to me was a statement. And then Rinku Singh throwing his body, especially does that last delivery. Andrew Russell throwing his body. You don't associate Andrew Russell to throw his body. And yes, but when it comes to KKR, obviously Vaibhav Vora, he now does need to work at his fielding. He has been a big disappointment as far as fielding is concerned, much like Avesh Khan in Lucknow LSG. He definitely needs to improve on his fielding. But Rinku Singh, and especially at 19 runs of 6 balls, that actually helped KKR go past that 200. It was all about Russell. We are talking about Andrew Russell, but it was Rinku's cameo, 19 runs of 6 balls, and that last ball run out. Means that to me said that was the turning point.
Extremely important, yes.
If I can add to that fielding point, if you see Rajasthan's knock when they were bowling, there were multiple fielding misses that allowed them many runs, and that made a difference of at least 15 to 18 runs. And that was a huge, if you consider a T20 score, a 180, 190, and 200 plus runs makes a lot of psychological difference. And Rajasthan could have set those extra 10, 15 runs in their fielding, and that made the difference for KKR also.
And Rohan, that bowling also, not only the fielding.
Yeah.
Akash Madhwal bowled powder puff. Even I probably would have hit a few boundaries if I were there at the middle. So conceding 85 runs in the last 5 overs, that was sort of criminal.
Devashish is laughing. বলছে KKR এ সর্বনাশ হয়ে যাবে যদি তোমায় নেয়।
Maybe I will come up with a better average than Ramandeep Singh.
And this is an important one. Why is the bowling of yesterday also? Andre Russell bowled what, 1 over?
Yes.
And he considered what
Yeah,
maximum
1 over. 11 runs, 11 runs.
7 runs.
Every match.
Why? I mean, because he batted.
Yeah.
He fielded the whole time. He was sprinting along the boundary. In fact, even when he was bowling, remember, he ran to the wicket and that kind of tried to run him out with a football kind of shot and then followed the ball. So it's not as if he's completely. Why can't he bowl more than 1 over? I mean, is it a ploy? Is it a strategy? Is it what?
I'm not sure. And this is something I think I had discussed with Shamik only on one of the post shows earlier in KKR's campaign. I think in the third or fourth match that KKR played. And I had repeatedly been seeing this pattern that Andre Russell is only bowling 1 over. He is coming way down the order. So what is he doing in the team? I mean, what is his role? What is the clarity when it comes to Andre Russell? What is his exact role? What does he have to come and do in the team? So I think none of us had the answer. I don't think we still have the answer of why Russell is only bowling 1 over. My hunch at that point was maybe he's carrying a niggle because it had only been 2 or 3 matches since KKR had started their campaign, and maybe later on in the tournament Russell would start bowling more overs. But clearly that has also not happened. So what is going on here? Yesterday you saw a good J Russ show up the order, up at number 5. But when it comes to bowling, what's really happening there?
Shumik, Andre Russell, less bowling. Is that a story? And somebody has asked a question, good one, that if KKR eventually don't make it, that Punjab match, 111 not being chased down, that is going to come back and haunt KKR big time. That one game, 111, you failed to chase it down. Shumik.
Yeah, I have said that already. I mean, that was a hammer blow to KKR's campaign, given that not only did it, not only was it a shocker in terms of denied. I mean, KKR lost 2 points there that was there for the taking, but also in terms of the team psychology, in terms of the team losing confidence, that was a hammer blow to KKR's campaign. And they lost the game. I think they were 62 for 2 chasing 111. And from there, we saw that batting implosion. So that is one thing. As regards Andre Russell, it's a bit baffling. Maybe the ball was gripping a bit. And that's why Ajinkya Rahane decided to go with that extra over of Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali in his first spell didn't bowl badly. But then Rian Parag took him to the cleaners. That was fantastic batting. Absolutely. We have to give credit to Rian Parag also. That was fantastic batting. And maybe also it could be a fact that Ajinkya Rahane as the captain doesn't trust Andre Russell much as a bowler. That could also be a reason.
Rohan, 2 days later, it's MS Dhoni time. I think who mentioned this? That you only mentioned that Chennai out of the tournament and all of that. But even in the last game, we talk about MS Dhoni, the skipper. And by the way, with due humility, MS Dhoni was on record saying after the Lucknow game that because Shivam Dube was batting, Lucknow did not use Ravi Bishnoi for his final over. Shivam Dube only said this in a media interaction that Mahi Bhai ne kaha tha ki agar tu yahan pe rahega to they will not go to Ravi Bishnoi for the final over, and Lucknow lost as a result, if you think, because Lucknow conceded too many runs. Now when someone is saying this and you have the same Shivam Dube in the dugout and the match was won by that one Suya Sharma over, I can't match the two. That it's the same leg spinner. You did not send the Shivam Dube, you came yourself. You took 6 runs in that over. And eventually your team lost by 2 runs. I can't match the two, number one. Number two, Rohan, now you have an Ayush Matre, people are talking him up. Now you have another couple of players in that Chennai team who are starting to look good, including Dewald Brevis, though it was a shocking call. Teams like this who have very little to play for, all of a sudden one good innings and KKR is out. I, for some reason, have a very kind of dangerous feeling about a CSK team at this point that will take field on Wednesday. Your thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. And Shomikta mentioned this in the pre-show yesterday that a team that has nothing to lose is very always dangerous, and a team that has MS Dhoni as a skipper is of course dangerous any day, any point, given their current forms, of course. And that decision that you mentioned about Shivam Dubai, yes, of course, and I think MS Dhoni is with all due respect to him, thinks that I am the MS Dhoni of 2028 maybe, or 2020 maybe, 2018. Sorry, I mentioned mean to say 2018, of MS Dhoni of 3-4 years back. But I think it's time for him to understand and accept the reality that he's not in that destructive of a form. But of course, MS Dhoni as a skipper, the mastermind that he's behind the stumps when he's speaking to players and giving instruction is always difficult and always a dangerous side to play against. And when CSK doesn't have anything to lose from this match, and they have done it multiple times in the past, turning around things, and they would want to finish the game on a high. And of course, we know that the fan base in Kolkata will still be a 40 to 50% in CSK jerseys. Me and Gargi were yesterday also discussing that even in a match between KKR and RCB, we found at least 7 to 8 MS Dhoni 7 yellow color jersey people. So whatever happens, the ground will have a huge support for CSK and MS Dhoni, and that would make it a bit difficult for KKR.
I want to know this more. Yes, Shomik, I'm coming to you tonight. When Devashish, Shomik, and Gargi are at the Eden Gardens, we will have a flavor. CSK is supposed to practice. We will get you more breaking. If there are MS Dhoni fans who are turning up. But yes, Shomik, your thoughts before I go to Gargi and Devashish.
I have a reporter's hunch that MS Dhoni would like to finish on a high. This season probably has been his farewell tour, and he would like to finish on a high in his second home. Calcutta has always been his second home. He speaks very good Bengali. He played club cricket in Calcutta. He is in very, I mean, his relationship with Sujonda has been brotherly. I mean, Sujonda knows him from his very early days. In fact, Dhoni was spotted by a former Bengal cricketer, Prakash Poddar, Jagmohan, Mr. Jagmohan Dalmia's PRDO project, and that was the unearthing of Dhoni done by Prakash Poddar. This has always been, his wife is from Calcutta. This has been his second home. And Rohan has been a bit conservative when he said that on 7th, 40 to 50% fans would be sporting CSK shirts and supporting CSK. I guess it would be 75 to 80%. I guess. And this is, I have, if not as a batsman, then as a reporter, then as a skipper, I guess this is my reporter's hunch that Dhoni would be very keen to finish on a high in his second home.
Devashish said 70%, 80% yellow. You agree? Kolkata Knight Riders? Come on.
I thought that Somita was about to say 100% Dhoni fan.
Last time,
and that he stopped at 70%.
last time it
That has
happened.
happened when Chennai Super Kings were doing well and Dhoni was doing well. But even see, you have to understand that KKR has done well in last 2 matches, so automatically the pulse of the Kolkatans will be to support the home team. Every time you cannot have a Virat Kohli. Yes, Virat Kohli is in his prime. Means he is still playing for India. It will be baffling to see MS Dhoni fans filling up Eden Gardens on 7th. Means I would be surprised. I would be surprised if that number is 70%. Shobita. Means yes, there will be quite a few Dhoni fans, but I don't think that there will be 70%. There are definitely a sentiment of Kolkata Knight Riders as well. And you will see a lot more Kolkata Knight Riders fans outnumbering the MS Dhoni fans. And see,
This is a good
firstly,
debate.
firstly, CSK are out. MS Dhoni is making his name, obviously, he is tarnishing his own image by continuing, by persisting with his, extending his run of play. Obviously, so I don't think that emotion will exist this time round.
I respectfully disagree. I respectfully disagree with Devashish. I respectfully disagree. First of all,
50-50,
I will
50-50
not.
also.
I will not.
Wait, one second. So this is a bone of contention. If Devashish wins, Shomik, you are buying him biryani, and if you win, Devashish is buying you Rasgulla.
Absolutely.
Done,
100%.
done, done.
Done.
আমি বলছি 50-50 হবে।
কি বলছিস?
তুই দুজনের থেকে খেয়ে নিবি,
50-50,
তুই দুজনের থেকে খেয়ে নিবি,
If you
তুই
win,
বিরিয়ানিও খাবি, রসগোল্লাও খাবি।
দুটোই খাবি। And Gargi to anyway is not part of it because it's only salad, so she doesn't need it.
আচ্ছা,
So the rest of us can indulge. But this is a serious one. Actually, it will be an incredibly interesting study of fandom to see if MS Dhoni makes Kolkata turn yellow or if Kolkata Knight Riders, the brand, because there's no star. There is no star. Ajinkya Rahane is no star. Ajinkya Rahane is no star as big as MS Dhoni. He's a great player. But MS Dhoni, the cult of MS Dhoni. Russell, yes, to a degree. But MS Dhoni is a different emotion. It will be a brand, a city versus an individual. For me, this is the story of this particular match. Yes.
You know what's going to happen? We're going to see the same scenes that we saw when RCB played in Calcutta this time, in this season. You know, we spoke to multiple fans throughout the 3 or 4 days that RCB was here, two or three practice sessions and the game itself. And every single fan, even if they're wearing a KKR jersey, they would go ahead and say,
Nah.
we want Virat Kohli to do well,
Nah,
but
nah,
KKR to win.
Nah. This is now a different debate. One has said Eden will be yellow. One has said Eden will be violet and gold. This is not about fans saying, I want MS Dhoni
No,
to
I
score.
think it's-
What jersey is he wearing?
60-40%.
Which side are you on? What is 60-40?
I'm telling you, 60 KKR, 40 CSK.
Oh, so she's joined Devashish Sen. Okay, so Gargi Raut and Devashish Sen both together. 60-40 says Gargi about KKR versus yellow. Shomik says what? Shomik 70% yellow or 60% yellow?
70% yellow.
70% yellow. Rohan says 50-50. This is becoming a heated debate. Good stuff. Absolutely. KKR should. Somebody says Devashish will have 5 Rasgullas. Who said that? Why only me can have 5? Devashish has become much better. Devashish sir can have 5 fit bunk. No, sir. He doesn't. He's become a good boy.
At one go.
Devashish is much better. He's all of his indulgences he
But
has
I
left.
think at this point, every fan across India are rooting for MS Dhoni because they want to see the man play for one last time. And I think the fans have understood that it's might be the last season for MS Dhoni, and they just want to see the man one more time. That will happen soon for many footballers also. Ronaldo, Messi will all be retiring soon, and right now people have gone beyond the fact of supporting the team and all, and they just want these individuals to see play for as long as they can and enjoy those moments.
If
And
you see
Rohan,
the
I think-
tickets, if you see the tickets for the last match, for example, it was still available till the very end. Now on Book My Show, 900, 2,500, 3,000, 12,000 are sold out already. There's some 3,500, 14 and 18,000 tickets still available for the
এই
CSK
বলে
game.
কলকাতার লোকের পয়সা নেই।
It will all sell out. Because I have already been asked for multiple tickets for the CSK game. Nobody asked me for Rajasthan. Nobody asked me, why Rajasthan খেলার ticket দেবেন? No one said that. Everybody has said, ওই last Chennai এর খেলাটার ticket দেবেন
চেন্নাই
কেন?
ম্যাচটা খেলা হবে। হ্যাঁ।
There is this whole Dhoni emotion that is playing out. After 2015, KKR never lost a match in Bengaluru. That's what Arnab says. Shomik made that point. State Bank of what? India is something I couldn't see it.
স্টেট ব্যাংক অফ ইন্ডিয়া ধোনি অ্যাড করছে স্টেট ব্যাংক অফ ইন্ডিয়া SBI এর।
কি বলছে এটা? State Bank of
স্টেট
India.
ব্যাংক অফ
is-
ইন্ডিয়া এভরি ইন্ডিয়ান MS ধোনি আচ্ছা।
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
ধোনি এখন SBI অ্যাড করছে।
give us details. Devashish, Shomik, give us details. When is CSK practicing? When are you guys going? When can we have updates? Because clearly, are people allowed to go in and watch practice? Can fans go in and watch Dhoni if they want to? What is the update, Shomik and Devashish?
CSK are training from 6 to 9 p.m. this evening. uh, that is the scheduled practice. I mean, the scheduled practice time. They arrived in Calcutta last evening, and obviously fans can go. Certain fans can go. Certain, I mean, in I mean, in other games also we have seen 2 days before the match, 2 days before the match, people turning up in the clubhouse, upper tier. But those were basically related to CAB officials, club officials, stuff like that. I don't know whether I'm for outsiders, for common people, they are not going to open it. They are not going to open it. It is for those who are linked to club officials. In fact, yesterday, one CAB official told me for the next 2 days, fifth and sixth, I'm switching my mobile phone off because of the demand for tickets. Because I'm getting so many calls, and out of the blue, two tickets, three tickets. So I have decided to switch off my mobile for the next 2 days. So this is the craze, and also see that I think, and you made a very good point with your article also, and here that it was from cricketing point of view. In the last game, Dhoni coming ahead of Shivam Dube was defied logic from purely from cricketing point of view. But with the season gone, I just feel that he deliberately did it as part of his farewell tour. Yeah, just that he wanted to give the fans a glimpse of him for one last time. Maybe that could be the reason why he came ahead of Shivam Dube, because the season is already gone. And I mean, yes, Dhoni is not performing well, but he has so much credit in the bank. He has earned the right to call time on his own terms. I think the I as far as I'm concerned, I don't see him playing next season. Although Suresh Raina, who is a very close friend of Dhoni, said he expects Dhoni to play one more season, but Dhoni has always called time on his own terms, be it the Test cricket, retiring in the middle of a series in Australia, in white ball cricket also after the World Cup. So Dhoni will not continue as an excess baggage.
I kind of agree. I think he's on borrowed time. I've said this. I think he's actually harming his own brand by continuing. CSK should have him as coach, mentor, give him a stake, make him owner, do what you want. Keep Dhoni in the mix in every other
Yes.
form. Look, if you could change the uncapped player rule for one man, institute a new position, non-playing captain. It is
Exactly.
nice. Dhoni
Carry
will
off
go
man of Tuesday.
across every match. He's non-playing captain.
Yes,
Let's see us move it. Dhoni is non-playing captain. He will sit in the dugout. He will take all calls. How can you stop it? It's a franchise. If you
Yeah.
can put an assistant coach, you put him there as non-playing captain of the team. Let his brand value continue to be there. By non-playing captain, he will attend all media. He will do all press conference. He will do all branding. He will be part of every shoot. He will be part of every CSK poster. Make him non-playing captain. What's the problem? Keep him in the mix. Do what you want. Don't let him destroy his own brand because he's got too much. He is the greatest white ball player that India has seen. The greatest and leader. You don't want him to struggle against Suyash Sharma and not win a match and not let Shivam Dube come. That is my only point. And maybe this is an emotional point rather than a rational one. But as all of my reporters said, Chennai will practice today. This is our concluding comment. Somebody is saying collective responsibility now lies with Rohan, Devashish, and Shomik to get Gargi to have a Rasgulla. Wonderful. This is Kolkata being OTP. Gargi ma'am, few delicious sweets, few. But you have one
Arey
first.
Baba.
Okay. Freaking
See
awesome.
that organic card
at
something.
at
I don't even know.
no at this moment in time, Gargi is only a short walk away from Nokud.
Yeah, but she's these kind of finer points in life she needs to learn. She's
Yes.
not there yet. Devashish, you and me and Rohan, we have attained enlightenment. She's far off. Yeah.
If you come to Kolkata, if you go to Maidan and not have food from chicken stew and bread from the Mohun Bagan East Bengal canteen or the Eden Gardens
I had
canteen,
today.
then what's
I
the
beg to
point?
differ.
After a long time,
I beg to
after
differ
a long
from
time,
Taltola and Castrum
Taltola, oh,
canteen. Any day of the
fantastic.
week, better than Mohun Bagan. And
You
it's
know
better.
what, show me today when Rohan and Gargi will join you and Devashish at Eden Gardens, what is the menu?
Fish fry, the quality has deteriorated so much. Chicken cutlet is better. And then there is sandwich.
Okay, so sandwich and chicken cutlet. Devashish, what is
And
it for you?
devil.
And devil. Arey bapre. Send me the devil.
Devil,
so
Devashish,
these are
Sumita will have
devil can come.
sandwich. Sumita will have sandwich, fish fry, devil.
and
Eat.
cutlet.
What else? Sumita, what else do you want?
Ghugni.
Oh, now Ghugni.
Devashish has been in full mode.
I
of
will
trolling.
space it out.
He pays it out. Okay.
He doesn't have lunch. He doesn't have lunch. Every time I ask him, Sumita, why are you having bread and ghugni and fish fry and stuff like that? And he says, I did not have lunch today.
So
No,
5 o'clock,
when-
6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Ghugni party, chicken cutlet, fish fry, and devil to end. That is his routine. Anyway, this is now degenerating into an absolute mad conversation. Time to end this. But huge match for KKR. My panel doesn't believe that KKR can make the playoffs. A number of fans do. Does KKR believe? Does KKR believe that they can make the playoffs? Will perhaps decide this call. They will have to want that desperately, absolutely desperately, to the last iota, that we can still make it. 17 points, and we will have some control over our future. We've got to see what happens. Devashish Sen, Shomik Chakraborty, Rohan Chaudhary, and Gargi Raut, thank you very much, along with everybody watching. And yes, we will have our Mishti, not to worry.